just driving around still. We just got back went down to the town there, and we're working back up this way and just driving these roads, just figuring out where we're gonna hunt. And first place we stopped, well, we seen what 6 or 8 down here on the road, and we just drove this little draw, and the top of this got deer bedded all over it. So we're just gonna watch the does, and we got a week to spend, so hopefully we can find a big buck in here.
Hunting in other states or new locations has always been something that appealed to me. I live for these hunts, but it always seems like when they come, the pressure is on, and you've burned years of points waiting for the right tag and in the right season. So you feel like this just might be your chance to kill that buck of your dreams. However, I learned years ago that this isn't a given on any tag, and the best you can do is roll with the punches and leave it all out there. Like most people, my money and time are in limited supply. So when I draw a tag far from home, I don't always have the luxury of actually getting to put my boots on the ground and scout. So I scour Google Earth and pore over maps until my eyes hurt. So it all seems like it takes a couple days in the area before I figure out the place I want to hunt.
Zach looked up around the hill and spotted a couple deer, so we moved down here, and there's 4 bucks up there. It looks like 2 4-points, maybe a third 4-point, and a little 2-point, but they're just little guys, nothing we want to go after, but it's the biggest ones we've seen so far, so it's nice to see a few bucks. Drop Jeremy off. There's a bunch of private way down the bottom from us, and we're way up on top right now, and it seems to be most of the deer congregate down the bottom. So Jeremy's going to drive off and check out this road. We're going to come up here a little further, and it's day 3, but we're still kind of familiarizing ourselves with the country, and we brought all of our backpacking gear, all that gear, just in case. And there's roads everywhere, which is not what we're used to, so we're kind of just trying to find some spots we can hike into. We're glassing a lot of deer from the road. We think that's an option too, to just keep driving and glassing, but I think Zach and I are both getting a little anxious to get out and do some hiking, so maybe find us a spot over on this big mountain and do a hike this evening or first thing in the morning. See this little, just right in front of us where this hill drops down before those first cedars. Oh, we just spotted a 4-point right here, and these guys were watching him. All of a sudden he jumped and took off behind this hill, but we're gonna go check him out. We didn't get a good enough look to tell what he was. Pretty nice buck, it looks like. We're gonna look at him. Right there. He's 200 here. You on him, Zach?
Yep.
I'm on him. He's done. Well, we are heading down to, we've been glassing away up in these draws, and all of a sudden we looked up here, not very far off the road was a buck. Looked like a nice buck, and he went up here, so we come up this draw, and he come right up over the skyline right in front of us, and Jeremy made a 225-yard shot, and now you're pumped.
Now we'll go see what he looks like.
Yeah, hopefully he's a good one. We think he's a nice one. So we'll check him out. Oh, isn't he? Yeah. Oh, heck yeah, Jeremy. That's a solid buck. Not too shabby. Well, kind of the game plan on these deer. The last few days, we go up high and there's nothing, no deer. I mean, we've seen a few, but very few. But down here, there's just does everywhere. Like, how many does were there on the other side of this?
Say 50.
Say 50, and there's 25 on the ridge right here.
20 right now.
20 right now, looking at them. What we think these bigger bucks are doing is these does are down here at night, and these bigger bucks are coming down checking them because they're not quite in the rut, and then they just head back up in the morning. And Jeremy just glassed up here first thing and spotted this guy, and I mean, I don't know, he said he acted like a hornet stung him. He just took off running, and so we come up here, we were heading up the saddle to come cut him off, and Jeremy says there he is. So got down, he's 225 yards, and Jeremy just put a perfect hard shot on him.
Anytime you pull the trigger on a hunt like this, you're left wondering if you made the right decision. On one hand, you've taken the biggest buck you've seen on the hunt, and you're pumped. But you're left with a nagging thought that the rut's going to kick in any day, and that big buck just might show up. But you also run the risk of that not happening until after the season ends, if the temperatures don't cool down and the big bucks don't start moving.
We just got back out here and we spotted a buck from a couple mornings ago, or yesterday morning, I guess, and we thought it was a big 3-point. It's really a 4-point, but he's a little small in his front. I don't think we're there yet, but we're going to keep him in our back pocket for later this week and spend the rest of the night glassing, and we got a big hike planned for tomorrow. So just going to see what we can turn up. Well, we're going to our spot where we see all the deer, and we spotted a pretty dang nice buck. It looks like maybe someone want to shoot, but he's kind of on the end of some private, so we're hoping he goes out away from the private. We went and checked another spot real quick. It's barely light enough to see. It was still pretty dark when we seen him. We're going to go back and see if he's there, and if he's in the public. If he is, maybe we'll shoot him, but just need to get a better look at him.
We looped around the private land and got into position where the big buck was supposed to be. We thought he'd given us a slip, when all of a sudden, there he was. So we had to act fast before we went back onto private land.
Well, we spotted this buck last night. We it's the second to last day this morning. It wasn't really necessarily the buck we came to Colorado for, but I am super pumped. I mean, you can only kill as big a buck as you see in the unit you're in, and we just haven't seen any real big bucks. We spotted him last night. Jeremy dropped us off, and Zach and I looped up around and shot him down here. So there's a chunk of private below us that we parked clear down the road. We're gonna have to cut him up and then pack him clear down the private, back down the road. But this is a super cool buck, big eye guards, tall, just not real wide. But pretty pumped. Down in Colorado, I'm gonna pack up this afternoon and head home.
Looking back on hunts like these, it's always funny to remember how much fun you really had. Did we kill the biggest bucks? No. Man, we saw a lot of deer, had a lot of fun. Looking back someday, that's really all we're gonna have. keep on keeping on. Things will go our way. Yeah?